Hey everybody, it's Eric alongside Rod here with another special guest, incoming 6'4", 185-pound wing freshman Kur Teng. Kur, thanks so much for joining us in the Final Fours on the schedule.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. All right, so as we're releasing these, we were interviewing everyone kind of before you heading out to Spain, so these are getting kind of released later in the month. But as we're speaking now, Moneyball's still going on. Uh, how's your experience been with Moneyball, and your impression of the competition, the event, the fans, and those sorts of things?
It's been fun to just get a feel for how it's gonna be kind of for the season, just to play in front of the fans and just get to compete against different players and my teammates as well. So it's been fun.
Have you been surprised by all the fans that show up to watch basically like a practice?
Yeah, I actually am. I haven't seen nothing but green, so
I
I'm
almost
happy.
feel I'm almost feel sorry for the guys from Central Michigan. I assume there was some there, but I don't see many Chippewa fans there.
I don't think this is the first year it's been like that, so they're probably used to it at this point.
Yeah.
Well, you're from Massachusetts originally, right?
No, I'm from Manchester, New Hampshire.
Oh, New Hampshire. Okay. And you played prep basketball in New England though, so you're from that part of the country. That's not typically recruiting territory for Michigan State. In fact, you're the first guy I can remember in decades who's come to Michigan State from that part of the country. So, what about MSU led to you committing here? What was it that stood out about Michigan State?
Just the fact that that's probably true that I'm one of the only guys. I'm definitely one of their I was definitely one of their main priorities. So I just appreciated that. And also I built strong relationships with the coaching staff, with some of the, the team here. So it just felt like the best fit for me.
Who were some of the guys you spent a lot of time with when you were visiting, while you were being recruited?
Yeah, I was with a lot of times I was with AJ Hogard,
Okay.
Trey House. I was with Jeremy Fears as well, Tyson Walker, just a lot of the guys. It was
Okay. Um, so how long had Michigan State been recruiting you for? Had it been like over a couple of years that they'd been interested, or did it really kind of come together that those last few months before you committed?
Yeah, I mean, I was committed for a long time before I got here.
Right.
So before that, it was I want to say a couple months. I don't really remember, but I've been committed for a long time. So I was really just mainly focused on getting
And you committed, trying to remember, did you commit before your last AAU season?
here. Yeah, I did. I
Okay,
committed
so
that April.
yeah, so you've been in for quite a while.
How was that recruitment different with Michigan State? Because I'm sure other schools and coaches were looking.
I mean, it's Michigan State, but yeah, I just felt like they I was just a main priority, and I just appreciated that. And like I said, I built strong relationship with the coaching staff, and I just felt comfortable, most comfortable here, and it just felt like home. So yeah.
Did you watch a lot of Michigan State basketball? I mean, growing up, is that how they got on your radar?
Um, Growing up, nah, I didn't really watch a lot of college basketball in general growing up, but of course, Michigan State's in the tournament every year, so of course I catch them once or twice. But yeah, it was definitely fun watching them when I did catch
Huh. And so, what do you think is your biggest strength coming into this season?
them. I feel like I can knock down shots anytime, um, any spot on the floor. So I think my shooting is probably my biggest strength.
And so then what's your biggest weakness, the thing you're working on the most right now?
Um, right now, I really mainly focus on defending,
Yeah.
making sure I keep my defender in front of me. I mean, my opponent in front of me, and just yeah, getting better at defending.
Yeah, because that seems to be the recipe to get on the floor for especially for freshmen. Like you could be, unless you're totally amazing shot maker, you're pretty much going to be, if you don't can't defend, you're not going to you're not going to play many minutes. I'm sure you've been told that.
For sure. Defending and rebounding, two main things to get you on the floor.
Are those things you did a lot of or focused a lot on when you were in AAU in high school? With
Yeah.
I mean, obviously your offense, but I mean, do you defense must just seem a lot different here than it was back in high school or AAU.
Yeah, I mean, my coach for high school and AAU, it was the same guy, but he was big on defending and rebounding. So he would get on you crazy if you weren't defending, you weren't rebounding. So it was definitely something I was already accustomed to. But now being he just always kept me ready. So now I feel like I'm getting better at it. I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Was he a similar coach to Izzo? It's sort of like getting after you. Okay.
Yes, he was. He was very very similar. That could be a part of the part why I came here.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing because I remember reading about that, hearing about that when you were being recruited. That um, your high school and AAU coach was kind of a tough guy.
Yeah,
So maybe the transition for you isn't going to be as great as it is for a lot of guys who come into the Michigan State program. But now that you've been on campus, you've been going through practices for a while. What's it been like with Coach Izzo in practice as compared to the guy you were talking to when you were being recruited?
yeah. I mean, while being recruited, he didn't sugarcoat anything. He told me what it was gonna be, and I knew what it was gonna come, what it was gonna be. So I mean, in practice and stuff, it's been first of all, it's been fun competing with my teammates and just feeling myself getting better. And with coach, he definitely gets on you if you don't do what he says. So yeah, it's been fun though.
Now I'm assuming that the way Michigan State is planning on using you is primarily on the wing, right?
Yeah,
Um, as I'm sure you know by now, there's a big emphasis on running
yeah,
at Michigan State, getting into transition. And it's something you hear about a lot from guys when they first come into the program that they thought they knew what running hard was like. And then they
yeah,
get into a practice at Michigan State and they find out that maybe they didn't understand it
yeah,
entirely. Have you gone through that experience specifically with the transition game of learning
yeah.
how to run those lanes hard every time?
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because coach just literally just got on me about running the lanes hard because it was one play I just shortcutted it a little bit. I ran a little like inside instead of running wider. He
Right.
just he just got on me. So I,
Yeah. Well, you're not alone. I think everybody who's played that position when they
yeah,
first get to Michigan State gets that message delivered because it
yeah,
is it is something they harp on a lot, and it's
mhm,
obviously it's a really important part of the way Michigan State wants to play. So
yeah,
it matters.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
you talk about that with back to your recruiting just a teeny bit. Jaron Jackson, I've seen his interviews with him later, and he talked about how what was so strange about when Izzo would come, he come and just talk about how bad he played and like problems with his game, and he wasn't heaping praise on him all the time like a lot of the other coaches would. It was that your experience as well with the coaching staff at Michigan State?
Like when they came to my games, like to watch.
Yeah, like came to your games and watch you play. They tell you how things you didn't do very well and things you could improve. And
Yeah,
like Jaron Jackson talked about all the criticism he get from even though he wasn't on the team, he was just
yeah,
being
yeah,
recruited.
yeah. They definitely did tell me what I did wrong, but I feel like every time they came and watched me play, I think I played pretty good. I feel like I played pretty good, but
So
yeah, yeah, they definitely hit me with a couple of texts, tell me what I should have did.
oh, that's funny. So you didn't give them much to complain about,
I hope
the
not.
message.
Well, you're here. I guess it didn't matter,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, facts.
Uh, we've we've talked to Jason and Jesse already, and
Yeah,
and they've talked about as far as your class, you guys are really tight, and that the sort of family atmosphere. Is that your similar impression for you too?
yeah, for sure. I feel like I don't go nowhere. I don't go nowhere without at least Jesse or Jace, one of them. So we're definitely close. If not all three of us, it's one of us at least together. So yeah, we're
Yeah,
definitely close and tight.
the other thing we get the impression of is that Jeremy Fears has got sort of his he's like stirring every pot. He's like he's everywhere all the time. Is that is that true?
Yeah, he definitely takes care of us. So he showed a lot of love since you guys.
Yeah, it's I think that's what Jason was called him a mini coach, that he was like almost
Yeah,
recruiting as much as Izzo was during his
yeah,
recruitment.
he definitely gave me a couple calls, couple FaceTime calls, trying to get me over here. Yeah, I appreciated it.
So
Were you okay?
again, now that you've been in college basketball, we'll say for the last 2 months or so, what's been the biggest surprise to you? Like the thing maybe you didn't quite expect that you found out once you got to East Lansing?
Um, I don't really know. That's a good question. I gotta think of that. Um, one thing. Definitely the I'll say the lifts are definitely crazier than I expected. But I feel like I've gotten stronger already since I've been here. So it's
Really?
definitely
Okay.
yeah. So I definitely appreciate the lifts. They've been crazy.
Do you feel like the from a strength standpoint that there's a huge difference between you and the like sophomores, juniors, and seniors, or do you feel like you came in physically okay and ready enough to play at the college level?
Yeah, no, I think my body's already like kind of college ready, kind of. But since I've been here, I've already put on a couple pounds, so I've definitely got some strength.
Well, and then, of course, the other thing too is now you're from New Hampshire, so for you, snow's not a big deal. You're used to the winter, so that's just normal. And obviously, Jace doesn't really know what's coming. I mean, he sort of knows what snow, but Vegas is really different. I've been to Vegas when it snows, and it snows you get like half an inch, and it's gone the next, in like 3 hours. Uh, so do you feel like it's a big culture shift when you go from New Hampshire to East Lansing, or does it feel kind of just like kind of New England a little bit?
No, I mean weather-wise, like you said, it's pretty much the same. But um, I feel like just really locations, just location really changed. Not really nothing different.
Yeah. Well, and then the last thing I was going to ask you about is Spain. So, you ever been to Spain? Are you looking forward to the trip? What are you kind of looking to accomplish or sort of experience when you get to Europe?
Nah, I never been to Spain, but I'm definitely looking forward to just competing against the other teams that we play against. Just exploring, just seeing what the other side of the world is like. So it's definitely gonna be fun.
All right, you got anything else, Rod?
No, I think we're good.
All right, well, great. Well, Kurt, thanks so much for coming on the show. Just as a reminder to all the fans, if you want to support the show and what we're doing, head on over to the Final Fours on the schedule.com/support. There, where you can find ways to give one-time or recurring gifts via PayPal or Venmo, or on Substack or Patreon. Check out our great sponsors of the show, brothers at Just Do Gutters that take care of gutter work in the West Michigan, East side of the state, Southeast Michigan. Also, the Squeegee Squad of Grand Rapids to clean your windows, clean your house, whatever you want to do. That stuff you don't want to do, they can do it for you. So they can get you good discounts. You can find ways to connect with them on our support page, as well as ways to get some great Spartan apparel at Nudge Printing at nudgeprinting.com. And also, finally, Christian Brothers Automotive for any auto work you need in the Grand Rapids area. They can take care of it. They go $40 off off an oil change right now if you just mention hoops when you show up. So, Kurt, thanks again for coming on the show, and really appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Well, until next time, the Final Four is on the schedule. Go green.
Go away.
There you go. All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks.